Kia ora. This brief video is just to let you know about a few little channels that I watch that you might enjoy, that aren't true crime, that are sweet, entertaining. You can watch introverts, you can watch animals, you can watch mobile home renovations, you can watch a particular type of renovation that is very entertaining. Just some things that are a little bit different. The first one, it's all one word. It's PearlBizarre, PearlBizarre. This is Matt's channel, who was on RuPaul's Drag Race with his character Pearl, and on PearlBizarre there are some incredible transformations using his character Roxanne, and the comedy and the astuteness when he talks about society. This young man, he just nails it, and he is a fabulous artist and creator. But recently what he's been doing with his boyfriend Jeremy is renovating a little bus that they bought, and it's soothing, it's fascinating, it's interesting, it's great watching their creativity, their problem solving, and it's just very gentle, and you might enjoy it. So I think they're living up outside of Hollywood at the moment, and they plan to take the show on the road, and Matt will continue to do drag on the road. But trust me, you must look up these lovely men. It's a really nice channel. Another nice channel with a lovely young man who is introverted, innovative, and is just creating his own life and path as well, is Mossy Bottom. Moss is his border collie, and Mossy Bottom is following, it's a couple of years in now, following this guy's journey in West Ireland. He is developing his own little farmlet and renovating a cottage and keeping animals and growing his own food, and he's overcoming all sorts of things, and he is really, really sweet. Speaking of men and wildernesses, you've then got, I've written this down because the spelling, Bjorn, Andreas, Bull-hansen, and he talks more philosophically about the human race and may help guide people with their ideas and views about what's happening right now and what you need to do. So Bjorn, B-J-O-R-N, Andreas, A-N-D-R-E-A-S, and then hyphenated word, Bull, B-U-L-L -H-A-N-S-E-N. Bjorn, Andreas, Bull-hansen. The other one, it's called It's Me or the Dog. This stars a lady called Victoria, who is a dog trainer or a person trainer, and she visits various people's homes in the UK and in America, and she sorts them out in relation to how they're caring for their dogs. It's entertaining, it's sometimes very heartwarming. Now, speaking of animals, there's also Bondi Vet. You've got Dr. Chris, you've got Dr. Lisa, all these little things. And what Bondi Vet does is, as well as show a suburb of Sydney and just the regular animals and things that come in there, wildlife, puppies, kittens, birds, lizards, pelicans, Dr. Chris travels around Australia. I mean, it's obviously contrived, but he travels around to different wildlife places and everything, and farms, and comes up with solutions for treatment for all these different types of animals. And it's just light-hearted, short clips. The song is "Make My World a Better Place." And they do, and it does. And if you need things that you just want to relax, and it's a really good one. Speaking of relaxing, Bernadette Banner, she is in New York City. She lives a very specifically curated life. She's fascinated with other times in life, other eras. She hand makes all these beautiful clothes. It's very soothing, interesting, entertaining. She has a little pet guinea pig, just like Shoe on Head. Have you heard of Shoe on Head? Some more social commentary, absolutely hilarious. Really interesting young woman, and a bit more political. I wasn't going to mention her, but worth checking out. Shoe on Head. So I am including one sort of psychological thing. It's called Psychology in Seattle, and this is Dr. Kurt Honda. He's a Japanese-American man who has been working as a therapist, supervising therapist and professor, etc. in America, in Seattle, I guess now he is, for decades. He's 50. He looks about 30, and he has a soothing manner, and he does these really great podcasts with one of his therapist friends when they discuss movies like The Joker, which is just so great just to listen to. It's fascinating hearing them talk. I really enjoy it. Currently, he's reviewing a lot of reality shows, the 90 Day Fiancé and things. He never used to do this. It's because he was requested to do it, and then he likes to see things through. So he's seen through, entire series of these things. So I don't enjoy that so much because, I don't have TV and I'm not watching these things, although he actually will just show, a very brief clip, and then he will discuss what's happening in the relationship. He is so positive and loving. He really wants the best for people, and he talks you through things the way that he might in couples therapy, because that's one of the things that he specializes in, is in couples therapy, relationships, etc. And so it's really intriguing in that way. But I just really enjoy his podcasts that he does with his friend Jose, I think. Jose. Dr. Honda is a musician as well, which gives, an interesting side to some of the things he talks about. But yeah, I'll try and upload this privately, put some links in to these channels so that, you can find their channel. But if I don't, well, you'll just have to do a little channel search. Do you know how to do that on YouTube? When you're typing in, you can also change what you're looking for. You can look for a channel name, etc. Yeah. And there's other ones as well, like the mudlarking channels, mudlarkers or something, that are just quite relaxing and a little bit different, because I think sometimes, we need something that's not the news. It's not, movies these days are all horror, thriller. I used to really dig this stuff, and now it's just too real. And they all seem to be, not to be controversial or a conspiracy theorist, but that, it's like predictive programming nearly, and it's all very, or it's all as if, everything's a game and it's gaming based, or it's the way that they show our current technology and stuff, or use technology to make these films. And like basically filming on, it's like they're filmed on a phone, and I can't stand it. I just want real films with scripts, plots, character development, character arcs. I want nuance. I want, anyway. So I'm hating film at the moment. I'm hating the movies that are out at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, so I just thought I'd say that it is a glorious day here. It's so beautiful. It's actually still It's not too hot yet because it's early in the morning. We've been having scorching weather in Australia. Those of you in Australia will know this, obviously. But it's storm season, and we do have a big storm slated to come as well. So I think I'm going to go out to the beach with dog today, just with a friend who's got dogs who might, I don't know, but it'll be nice to be at the beach. I think carnival dog needs to feel the sand between his toes, doesn't he? So that will be a treat. As you know, usually I'm cycling out there on my own to go and earth with my feet in the ocean. Carnival dog wouldn't go in that chariot that I bought, would he? And that had to be sold. Kitten went in that. She'd get pushed around in that, or I'd find her sleeping in it or on it. But Carnival dog wasn't having a bar of it. This is something that I could tow behind my bicycle. And I didn't have anyone to help me sort of train to go along feeding him while he's in this bloody carriage. Anywho, yeah, so I hope you've all had a really beautiful Thanksgiving, found things to be thankful for in this clusterfuck year, because hasn't it been hard on everybody? It doesn't matter what your situation is. You know, it does not matter. No one's had it easier or worse. I mean, I think older people might have had it easier. Older people that were, you know, kind of in an easier retirement. I think they've done all right this year, but that's all I can really think of. I think everyone's been affected. Everyone's lost people or, you know, suffered in some way because of the clusterfuck, and nobody has been immune to what's gone on, whether it's been, you know, emotional suffering, physical suffering, worry, anxiety, worry for friends and family, isolation, loss in any way, shape or form, you know, people that have, you know, not been able to attend funerals for their family members because of restrictions. I mean, this just sucks, and they will live the rest of their life suffering about that and in grief, things like that. So, you know, let's kiss it goodbye. Not saying it's going to get any better. The more reliant on yourselves and the less reliant on others, well, I mean, organisations and the government, you can be, the better. But that's tricky because of the situation in general, you know. It's not possible for everyone, but it's a goal to work towards so that you can make decisions for yourself. I think the scary thing for me is thinking about what decisions I can't make for myself anymore regarding travel, regarding, you know, what's put into your body, how you live, etc. It is scary. It's scary times. But we're not reverting back, okay, to the way of life that we had 2, 3, 4 years ago, even though it seems that there's always something crappy going on. We're not reverting back. And we need to accept that. We need to accept that we need to start looking at life very, very differently if we think we're always going to have choices about where we live, who we see, how we make a living. Yeah. In more upbeat news, won softball yesterday by 1 point, maybe because I didn't pitch. Covered in, I don't know, I might be able to show you, covered in bruises and broken blood vessels. Yeah, too old for that shit, but it's fun. My my team has players that are, 20, young 20s, up to, I don't want to upset anyone here, but they could be, I think they're in their 70s. So there's, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70s. We've got a lot of decades covered, and it is so much fun. I really encourage everyone, push yourself out of your comfort zone and do something that you might always have thought of and then just never done. For me, it's joining a team, and it could be anything, but you need to push yourself for connection. Don't isolate any longer. People overseas, you're going into winter, and if you are like my older bro who gets SAD, don't go from the clusterfuck into SAD if you can help it. You need to really push. It's a different type of pain, okay? You've got to try it for yourself. No one can do this for you. No one can get you out of your funk but you. And it will take concerted effort to just make a simple decision and just roll with it and keep doing it, and you will feel better. It could be anything. Maybe you've got fishing rods in your garage that you haven't taken out for 4 years, 5 years. Get those rods, and whether you feel like it or not, go on your own, take a friend, preferably take a friend or a family member every single week, whether you want to or not, whether it's pissing down with rain or not, whether it's snowing or not. Check the tide times and go out once a weekend, once a weekday, whenever it is that you have free, and go and do some fishing. If you've got a dog that's getting fat and lumpy on the couch with you, walk a different route every single day. Do it every single day. Your dog will feel better. You'll feel better. Do it. You've got to break the habits that are bringing you down. For me, social isolation was just way too easy. Way too easy. I find it extremely painful, and yet it's extremely easy as well. And I've had to stop it. There's many things you can try. Many things, that's why I did my Back to Basics, wasn't it? The Back to Basics little series that I did of getting fit and healthy, pushing myself to exercise, pushing myself to eat the right foods that I know work for my body. The depression was hard to break out of that time because my skyrocketing anxiety, so I did fall back on the lolly train. So what have I done? I've done a simple switch up to something that I wouldn't normally eat, which is grapes, but it's working. I'm eating a bunch of grapes instead of 2 packets of lollies. Simple switch ups. I feel much better for it. I'm not doing what I was doing incorrectly when I started talking about carnivore a long time ago, and I'd been going through the Sinclair method, and I was screwing up my Randall cycle because I was having papaya. Okay, that on its own, fabulous. Just that, fabulous. But I was putting it with fat. The deadly combination, 50-50, and I was having sour cream, tubs of sour cream with these papayas. So just if you're going to do fruit on its own. Fruit is carnivore. If you're thinking about what you're having, just watch out for the seeds. This is really diverting, isn't it? This turned into a little chat about all sorts of things. But I care about you guys. I want you to feel good physically and emotionally. Certain people don't like it when I talk about things saying spiritually. But to me, that's just all about energy. Just know you don't have to exchange energy with other people. You can, don't get overwhelmed by what you perceive as bad energy. I used to do this, and I'm realizing more and more as I get older that that sort of energy exchange is a choice. But we are exchanging energy with everything in the universe at every given moment, and there's a lot of life and power that you can draw from the universe, and use that to break your routines and patterns that are devastating your life, that are bringing you down. A lot of us are restricted financially, we're restricted physically with illness, mental health issues, with just where we live and the limitations. There is always something. There is always something. Find a way. You can find things for free. You can find things in all sorts of places, all different types of resources to help yourself, help others. Volunteer. Can you volunteer? People love volunteers. Do you like clothing? Can you volunteer in an op shop, an opportunity shop? Fill out an application. Because a lot of the older people who often would be in volunteering in opportunity shops have stopped because they're worried about COVID-19. So can you volunteer for Orange Sky Laundry? Can you volunteer to, can you join the local garden? There's usually a cooperative garden. Can you go down and just help clean and weed, or, grow things? Is there some way that you can be involved? And it's very hard at first sometimes, but go outside your comfort zone and do something. What I've been pushing myself to do is I find it very hard to leave the house at night sometimes, And when you're over a certain age too, when a certain lifestyle is over, and some of you may connect with this, but don't you just hate being out after 9 p.m.? But what I do now, and you see this, is I push myself I go out in the city. I go out to the city because I love street photography. I love people watching. I love, love, love it. And I love how different light and different times of day and night change what you're viewing and change perception of things. And I go out and just get amongst it at night time and hear the sights and sounds, and I just stomp around through the city. You saw me film Michael. I had seen him walking down the street, and I had it was in black and white, and I had the lights of the Story Bridge and the car lights and everything. I photographed him and asked him if I could, as well at that lights at the intersection, and he just said, "Hey, well, can I sing you a song?" And we got that ballad, didn't we? The ballad, the story, I think it's the story, telling the story of his life and how he feels about life, and I think it had some lyrics for us. And you don't come across people if you're not getting out amongst it. And I don't care if you live in the country, if you're in a suburb, if you're in if you've got a partner, go out at night walking around the suburbs. It's really lovely. Just do it. Just go out after dinner and stroll. You can stroll as a family, as a couple. You can stroll with your dog. Be careful at night. Have your pepper spray. Be prepared. Don't look like a victim. Take your dog. Unless I'm around people in the city and things, I have carnivore dog with me. I'm not saying put yourself into danger, but, be a joiner. Only you can change your life. We know how things can, we all used to devastating situations, how life snaps and changes on a dime. It doesn't have to always be negative, but it takes action. And, I'm trying to practice what I'm preaching here myself. I'm trying to share some of that journey that I've had with you. If you go back to some of my playlists, where I think I've got one called The Apocalypse, And you can see my anxiety, you know. But don't you think it's better? I mean, it had a little dip in September, didn't it, with this true crime bullshit. I'm trying to get away from a lot of the true crime and go back to what I was doing. As you know, some of it will be the Sinclair method. That's going to be a podcast, I hope, with a friend who is doing a communications degree. He's quite an interesting person. I should interview him on here because it's got quite a complex everything. And very just self-driven and everything. And he's doing a communications and radio course. And maybe as part of that, he can be my producer for the podcast, for the Sinclair method. It's super out of my comfort zone. This is out of my comfort zone, but I've been doing this for, you know, all this year now. And you guys have helped me tremendously with that. People come and go. You can come and go. You're not obliged to listen. You're not obliged to be here for every video. You don't need to comment. You don't need to agree with me on everything. I just, excuse me. I just value that you've been here because it's been quite the journey, hasn't it? Thanks for all your support, your input. And some of you have even started posting your own videos. And which has been marvelous because everyone has a voice and something to say, and sometimes it's not that you think anyone will listen, it's just that you've put it out there now. Sometimes it's just the process that's helpful. I never imagined, I'm going to run out of time, I never imagined anyone would be watching me. I had 50 subscribers somehow when I first started, I think from all the carnivore channels I used to comment on, and that got me underway. I still can't believe I've got over 600 subscribers now. I've taken down a lot of my videos, I guess I had to. So I don't know how many views I've really got anymore, but it's been a pretty amazing trip. See you later.